Hello friends, welcome to Vishaka Astrology channel. Today I'm gonna discuss about the understanding of the Aries. What is the power in the spark which is having? So have you met anyone who becomes terrifying, efficient during a crisis when there is a warlike situation, he is in the pain, even that time he become very active. This kind of person who can just walk into complete chaos and instantly understand the problem. Even in the chaos, he can understand the problem. Somehow he solve everything with everybody else is still panicking. When others are panicking, he is in a fabulous condition. He will handle that situation very fabulously. But strangely, the same person struggle to follow a daily routine, a normal routine, even for a week. What happens? He get disturbed. So the moment of life becomes repetitive and their energy disappears. So repetition is not liked by Aries. So people call them inconsistent, people call them impulsive or restless, but astrology calls them something else. Aries, which we are going to talk today about, Aries, it is it is like a it is the sign which is not just anger, it's a force to start any starts in life itself. So when any new path to be chosen, Aries guys are the first. They will push hard to achieve something. So the first spark of life we need to understand. So understand Aries properly. You first need to understand how the simple truth is that starting something new is required harder push because no one has experienced earlier, and it is very easy to continue afterward because someone has done successful that path achieve. Followers are many, leaders are only one. That's the reason Aries are leaders. Imagine a massive stone sitting on a place for years. No one is really touched him, no one is in pushed him, but the first push will come, and once it start rolling, the movement becomes easier. There is nothing push required, it will keep going on its own way. And but the first push require explosive force. So that is a force called Aries. So if you see in the signs, zodiac signs, Aries is the first sign. That's the first importance thing has been given it to him. So Aries represents the energy that breaks stagnation. If there is any stagnation in there, he will come and force and he will ensure that it flows. So whenever life becomes frozen, whenever fear traps in people's mind due to overthinking or anxiety, or whenever hesitation kills the momentum, that time Aries enter like a fire. And that's Aries dominant people will often act even before everybody start thinking to act on it, then they will immediately act. They do not sit and wait to analyze the possibilities and strategy and plan. They just move, they just act, they just execute, and sometimes very fast. But the movement itself in the nature. This is exactly this is exactly why Aries people perform brilliantly under emergencies or during panic situations. When pressure increases, most of the people will buckle up, buckle down, or probably they will not able to handle it and emotionally overwhelmed. They don't know it's a panicking condition or a very difficult condition for them to understand. Sometimes people become confused, but Aries become sharper. This mind immediately asks, what is the exact problem? What is immediate action is required? How do we fix this now? This is his thoughts will come and he will immediately act on that. The energy operates in a real time, in a very lightning speed fast, and it trusts instinct under pressure than all strategy and all stories. He will just believe in instinct what is required. He probably many of time using common sense to ensure that just normal endless story to focus on endless story. Let's go on a focus on a common sense and address this issue quickly. So these people real if you people realize it or not, but every major achievement in the life requires in Aries energy. any new thing you start, you require energy push, and that's Aries push is required. Whether you and without them, you cannot start your business, you cannot launch your business, you cannot live your difficult life, you cannot fight any war or competition. So how you will not able to rebuild yourself unless and until you have Aries energy, and it will completely change your destiny. So without the courage to initiate, that courage is required, and that is given by Aries. And every powerful force which carries the danger within, Aries has a um, major weaknesses there, especially in the Aries. Well, there are other good points are there. So when when Aries gets struggled in, when Aries get where the Aries is having a weaknesses basically in their life. Aries is very incredible in starting. They have a quick push. They will quickly start. Their intensity, but in the intensity of whatever the push has given, they will not able to maintain that push. Very common sense. You push a big rock. The first push is given, then you don't give that much of push because that's in the momentum. That moment itself, he feels his work is over, and that is why energy burns like a gasoline, fast, explosive, quick, and powerful, but not stable. It will not be there. This is why Aries dominant people go through the same cycle of repeatedly. They suddenly become obsessed on something and they want to focus on that specific activity. And in few days they feel very uncomfortable, and few days they will become very unstoppable. But after that, they get the initial instant motivation is there. The first few days and few hours, and probably their activity will be very high. But they mentally feel alive. They will be focusing on that. They believe that they will transform this life till the end, and then suddenly the excitement disappears. Why? Because the moment the first newness is over, and that then it becomes a routine, that is called continuation of the initial activity. So there is a repetition of activity comes. That is, if you are pushing something, you keep pushing. You are exercising, you want to keep exercising. So the repeatness or repeating and the activities become, and that is where their energy crashes, because they love something new. And if there is a routine, they lose interest. And people always misunderstand this, assume Aries people lack discipline, and that is exactly the truth. Is that Aries is designed in ignition and not maintenance. So routine psychologically drains their energy. So routine, they don't get comfortable. Aries need movement. Aries need challenge. Aries need competition. And their with this, their stimulus will still feel alive. The moment Aries dominant people struggle, where every day is the same job, every day is identical, they creativity is absolutely missing, growth feels slow. So they don't like if the slow growth is there. They want quick growth, immediate actions, immediate results, or life becomes emotionally stagnant. So the soul of Aries always constantly want a motion, a movement. But now that comes the paradox. Although Aries naturally resist restrictions, but it desperately needs the structure to succeed. Without discipline, Aries will burn out itself. They will burn out in something, some activity, because they are constantly burning. If they don't have a proper plan, they will get burned. So powerful racing engine without a steering, a direction, eventually will destroy itself. So it will go some the path which is not useful, or self-destruction path. They will get into that. So that is the highest Aries form of Aries which they need to develop is routine. They have to fix the discipline. They should get into a physical training. Long term focus is required, because their energy is bubbling, and if they don't utilize that energy, this will go, they will lose interest and all. So to maintain that interest, they need to be in a discipline mode, and they need to control their emotions. They should not allow emotions to get overwhelmed on them. So the real truth we'll talk about little bit of Aries Lord Mars about. Now we understand the planet behind Aries is a Mars who actually plays the role. So what is point here is that Aries is giving you is a kind of experience, but that experience is coming of a Martian experience because he's a lord of that house. So Mars is one of the most misunderstood planet as we talked about Aries. Most people think Mars is like anger, impulse. Mars is not emotional. Mars, but healthy Mars is having a logic. They understand the logic. Mars is designed for execution. He's a warrior. Unless logic, he cannot win the warrior. He's very intelligent because it's a first house. So its purpose is simple: identify the problem, take action, and move forward efficiently. Simple. That think about a soldier during a battle or a firefighting during a building burning, or there is a fire in a building, and how he handles the firefighter or entire initiatives. Lightning speed he will act ensures that things will get control. And surgeon even during the very complex surgeries and emergency surgeries. So that is the reason you can see all these areas are Aries dominant areas. So these people cannot survive if they become emotional, because emotions create confusions, create choices, and that's where they don't want to get into that, and they want to listen to their heart, what is right and what is follow proper steps, and he will finish it up. And they will. That's the reason they will survive under any pressure. That's the Mars energy. The Mars people often become calmer, very silent during the crisis. They will handle the crisis. They will get it's a their be a what you can say business as usual kind of situation where they know how to handle. They are very experienced in that area. While everybody else is in panic condition, he will be like, okay, I need to focus. His brain is super working. His processor of brain is working very fast immediately with a high focus, and the focus is coming from Aries also. So that's the reason he will be very focused and solving the problem. And that pressure activates that problem. They're in this skill. And Mars sharpens often through conflict. If the conflict comes, they will know how to address this conflict. They will fight, but they will ensure that the conflict is getting sorted out. This is why Mars dominant people are often enjoy competition, difficult challenges, emergency situation, physical intensity. There is like intense training you go, survival situation. You don't know how to survive, but your mind is trying to find out how can survive in a difficult condition. And they are the best leadership in chaos, very chaotic environment. Still, they will be able to handle their leadership position and handle the situation very marvelously. High pressure environments also they can handle, like uh, daily sales, weekly sales, where kind of they need to finish the selling aspect of it, and within a specific timeline, or fast moving products, they will be do really well in that. But the same quality creates a major problem in the relationship, because now understood by now how is Aries and Mars is act. Relationship operates on maximum on the emotional frequency. That is where the emotional watery sign activates. And relationship needs patience. Relationship needs empathy, emotional softness, emotional availability, listening ability, and understanding the feelings about others or from others indirectly. You should be able to understand, because it's a wavy thoughts, wavy nature. It continues, and that's where your emotions are constantly coming out. It's more of a piece where you will be focusing. And that's the reason a Mars struggle there. Mars communicates differently. He will ask, what is the exact issue? Whereas there is no issue. There is an emotional availability where he's asking about it. How is my, what exactly you're looking for? What solution we are moving forward? So he will take a peaceful moment, a relationship moment with a battle way. And he will become a suddenly a um, what you can say soldier, and he will want things to be quickly finished, and what actions need to be happen. So emotions are rarely logical, we all agree. And he is the most logical person, Aries and Mars. So they simply want understanding the emotions is become difficult for them, and hence they become very easily get misunderstood in the relationships. They may genuinely care and deeply care about someone, but that they will not show because they are emotionally blunt. They are impatient. They want quick answer. They will quickly find out what exactly is happening, but they don't know how to address that specific thing because they are not, that is not their forte. So Mars expresses love through action, protection. They will protect you, they will stand for you, and they will solve the problem in your day to day life because they know this is my strength and I can help you in that area. So Aries energy is very, very critical, and always through emotional words they cannot express. So now let's talk about some planetary combination, how it goes. Like I want to look at like gas pedal. You are giving on a car, setting in a car and a gas pedal and on the brake at the same time. Can you push both? Because you cannot. Because at a certain time, um, it's important that these combinations are going to make or break person in their day-to-day life, and they need to address these situations. So imagine Mars is like a gas pedal of a sports car. There is an accelerator. He will put the one leg on the accelerator, and other one, the Saturn is a typically patience, slowness, delay. So he will put a pressure on the brake. So what happens that Mars become, if the Mars become powerful and Saturn is weak, it get a massive speed without control. So Saturn is very important because if Mars has become very strong, Saturn will not able to control his speed, control his channel, and he become uncontrollable. And that creates the explosive personalities. And these are the people who are react instantly, impulsively, and they become impatient easily and struggle to slow down emotionally. They treat every obstacle, it's like a personal war. They will not take things easily. Everything at their heart, everything they do personal. So now Saturn, what generally normally provides is patience, restraint, endurance, and maturity. Most important is the maturity. So you will see that Saturn's role is in this is to control his impulse, control his wrong decision making, and that's the reason Saturn Mars. Without Saturn, Mars will become very impulsive and very difficult to manage. Now here comes the very interesting thing that people think gentle planets always create success, but that's not completely true. Like Venus and Jupiter bring comfort or emotional support, relationship, and social warmth. But whereas Mars does differently, Mars isolates, it removes distraction. And although, because it is very focused planet, so he will not give any distraction. Although isolation feels painful, but he also creates a focus. Many people build enormous wealth, especially the factories or manufacturing areas. They will do really well, and they go into isolation and ensure that they eliminate all the noise. So noise is an enemy of concentration, and Mars cut this noise aggressively. He will ensure that you get focus. So now let's see how it behaves with other planet as well. Now we've seen that with Saturn you got the experience. Like imagine Sun is in Aries. This is one of the strongest combination or placement in astrology. Reason Sun gives Aries something it naturally lacks is consistency. So Sun is a very constant. Every day he will rise and set. Both will happen, and he's following the routine so many billions of years. So what happened? Sun gives that very strong routine to Aries, something he naturally lack, and that is where he become very exalted in the area. Aries becomes Aries provides courage and action. Sun provides stable relationship. So for very fabulous combination it is having. Anyone is having, it's a great combination. They build a long term very empire. Instead of temporary burst of motivation, they really build big empires and very long term leadership. They get it. Whereas Saturn in Aries is like struggles badly. Saturn struggles badly because Saturn likes patience, slow progress, long term planning, and Aries want immediate movement. So Saturn get burnout here. He doesn't know how to address this because this is a enormous inner frustration Aries will have because Saturn doesn't allow that. He creates that delayness in your Aries sign, and the person wants fast success, constantly feels blocked internally. He will always feel I am blocked. I am someone is there holding. I am not able to express my initiatives, and that energy is not coming out fully. And this placement often creates the attraction towards shortcuts. So risky trading or gambling, all those kind of things, or quick money, shortcut monies, and that because that in fantasies will be the area. And because psychologically waiting become unbearable for Aries folks. What happens to the Mercury in Aries? So it creates a very mind, Mercury's mind, and it becomes extremely fast. Speech becomes sharp, direct, and highly competitive. And these people debate brilliantly. Uh, Jump between hobbies, they can change his hobbies, they leave projects unfinished because of Mercury's nature. Yeah, if it is come into the Aries sign, they leave the project. So Mercury is talking about documentation, anything they're writing or writing a book or something they will start and then in between they will leave it. And they lose patience and very especially those who are very slow in thinking, they lose patience. They will feel, this is not the place I am should be. I'm not very comfortable with that individual. These kind of thoughts will come. Venus in Aries. Venus here creates explosive passion. Yes, Venus is what? Relationship. It becomes very explosive. Strong attraction, very strong chemistry, strong combination, strong emotional excitement. And that's the exact moment where routine enters and interest can disappear suddenly. So because Aries constantly seek stimulation, they need stimulation. Stimulation is like shakiness in terms of action. Any action has to, any activity has to, you have to execute it. But person cannot 24 hours do execution. So obviously, if he's stable, silent, then they get disturbed. Rahu in Aries. Rahu amplifies the mass ambition massively here. They will be like huge. It creates obsession with growth, dominance, because Rahu is obsession. He will now get into his own self. So he want to develop himself. So growth he want individual growth is to be there. I need to I win. I cannot lose. And rapid expansion is looking for. Excellent for business scaling. Obviously, you have a business scaling and the combination is supporting you, then it's a fabulous combination. But physically, it creates a enormous internal pressure on yourself, and you will under stress every time. All the moment you are in the under stress. Ketu in Aries. Ketu disconnect. So problem of Ketu is this disconnect, the initiating power of Aries. So energy doesn't come out. Before it comes out, it disconnect. The person hesitant constantly because then obviously he is having a challenge to express those things are not coming out from his mind, and he always thinks should I take or not. I think it's not going to work. So there is a kind of the challenges they face, and even action is needed, something internally freezes them. They don't take action at the right time, and they all that because of that it creates a lot of confusion, overthinking, and fear at the beginning. So they always fear if this go right, wrong. There is a fear in their mind because that is the way Ketu control Aries. Aries energy doesn't come out quickly. So any initiative, there will be little challenges. Moon in Aries, it creates emotional impulsiveness. Now, as I told, Moon is a watery planet. He's emotion, full of emotions, and you put into Aries, what happens is the mind becomes restless. Anxiety is very high, reactive. They want quickly reactive. Mind is under constant action, which mind may not required, but still you are putting too much under work, and these people are become sudden taking emotional decisions. Good bad they doesn't understand. As you know, Moon always look for some actions, and Aries is always looking for to take that action, so immediately take the action and close it, and they completely changing the direction a few hours later, and suddenly they feel after something, "Hey, this is not right, I will go something else." So their emotional move fast as fire. Their emotions are very quickly changes. That's the Aries moon sign people have a challenge. So finally, I want to take away is that at deepest level, Aries is a very represent a first spark of your life. You're born with that spark because that's the reason it has got the first house in the chart. Force that breaks fear, because you have to live in a world, you should be fearless, and that is first thing they teach you. You should be fearless. That force can destroy hesitation. So any hesitation coming in your mind, please remember, you should have a Aries energy. You can break that hesitation and move forward. Nervous on the stage or something like that, you are doing some presentation first time, or you are talking first time, and different language you are speaking on the first time, you will, all those hesitations there, only Aries can remove it. He say, I don't care, whatever happens, I don't care. And that force and that chaos, that situation, in that chaos, in that specific situation, there's only one word you will hear from Aries or a Mars people is saying, move, move, quick move. And the lesson, Aries is not simply taking action, but the real lesson is controlled action. That is the strength utilized properly can be a best thing for Aries and Mars, because uncontrolled fire can destroy everything around them, good, bad, both. But controlled fire is actually, it powers the civilization, it powers the mankind, it powers the society. So look carefully on your chart and see where Aries sits, and that's the exact area you are meant to take actions or takes initiative, remove the stagnation and build proper momentum. So someone is having Aries in fifth house, build a momentum in your education. Someone is having Aries in the seventh house, build a momentum in the married life or a business where you want to focus. So that way you use this Aries, ensure that you utilize Aries. Obviously, Aries is an area where you might become impulsive and there could be a mistakes can happen. So you please understand, and that's way the place where life demands discipline from you. That is where you can look at it. The fire remains uncontrolled, the same energy could destroy, and um, it becomes problem. And if the energy is controlled, uncontrolled energy, I told you this is controlled energy, then you can actually build a destiny. You want to achieve something, you want to manifest, you will manifest those things with your own efforts. And that is the real meaning of Aries. Hope you like my video. If you like my video, please give me the like button, and if you love my channel, please subscribe my channel and do share with your friends and family who is having a Aries sign. So once again, thank you so much and have a great day.